Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing at the world's fastest half-mile concrete high bank short track in America. Live here in Bristol, Tennessee at the half-mile. Ladies and gentlemen, Bristol Motor Speedway gonna give us some action-packed racing here tonight for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 3. Race number 6. Forgot to change the race number. That is my bad. Apologies to me up here in the booth. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get you down on here on the main broadcast. Welcome in to the Sharpie 135 live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Madness Racing League's Xfinity Series. Guys are out on the racetrack right now getting their cars qualified in, getting ready to go racing here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have one hell of a show here tonight. Looks like we got about 30 seconds to go here in the qualifying session. Ladies and gentlemen, looking to have a great race here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And seeing a ton of you guys out there in the fan zone trying to get locked and loaded, get all your merchandise, your track passes here. We just cleaned off the racetrack. Here's driver introduction portions are right around the corner here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And appreciate everybody tuning in here. We'll go up here and throw up tonight's points system. This is the top 13 drivers on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll show you the current 3 out of the playoffs right now before we get ready to tackle on the last great Coliseum here, the Bristol Motor Speedway in Bristol, Tennessee. Getting ready to have one hell of an event here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the second part of a doubleheader here for the Madness Racing League, the TNA Total Nonstop Action Truck Series, tacking on the Texas Motor Speedway here. Hopefully, got you a great look at that one right there, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like that's going to do it here for the qualifying session. And that's going to bring up the final results right here. See how things shook out here. It was showtime. Chase Johnson on the pole here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum for Chase Johnson Racing. That'll be his first qualifying pole here on to Season 3. Chase Johnson so desperately looking for that Xfinity Series championship that he's been missing. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go racing here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Packed out house here. Hopefully these guys can keep it clean. We'll keep it above the moonlight here. Keep it underneath this beautiful sun here tonight. A great day to go racing. About 93-degree track temperature and about 76 degrees outside. You wouldn't even need a coat out here. Ladies and gentlemen, tell your mom to go ahead and put on that brand new jersey she just bought because her nipples are going to get hard. It is a little bit cold out here tonight, but we're getting ready to go racing. We hear tonight's starting lineups. Ladies and gentlemen, on the pole here tonight, driver the number 5, Ocean Lakes Chevy Camaro. That's showtime, Chase Johnson. Driving the number 99, Zen Chevy Camaro from Park Ridge, New Jersey. That's the Season 2 Total Nonstop Action Truck Series champion, Jerry Powers. Starting in the third place spot here tonight, driving the Instant Oil Valvoline Change 01 Ford Mustang from Bristol, Tennessee. The hometown kid tonight, Everett Larson. Starting in the fourth place spot here tonight, driving the Valvoline number 8, Chase Johnson Racing Chevy Camaro. That's the Corey Rip Todd Tessner. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, got a ton of names out here trying to get down and loaded. Here's the number 9, Napa Auto Parts Machine Chevy Camaro from Coleman, Alabama, the 4-time Madness Racing League winner, Ty Robertson. On the outside of him, driving the 02, Maynard Motors, Dex Imaging, NR3 Designs, Toyota Supra from Wilford, South Carolina. That's the kid of Nicholas Maynard. Rounding out the 7th place spot here tonight, driving the Allied Fire and Safety number 66, NR3 Boardwick Race Engines, Chevy Camaro from Union Beach, New Jersey. That's Neil Rutt. Checking out the 8th place spot here tonight, driving the Twins Grading LLC, Chase Johnson Racing number 24, Chevy Camaro from Greenville, South Carolina. That's going to be James Fountain. Driving the number 09, Castro Oil Ford Mustang from Mooresville, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be Holden Wheeler. Shaking out the 10th place spot here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, driving the number 23, FBM Motorsports, J Money Sense Toyota Supra. That's the mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant. Ladies and gentlemen, driving the number 11th place spot here tonight, driving the number 16, Pete Haas Designs, Toyota Supra from Santan Valley, Arizona, Blake Hochschild. And below him, driving the Queso Gaming number 48, Chevy Camaro from Kentucky, large car, Nick Crawford. Checking out the number 25, Sean's Detail, New Jersey Chevy Camaro. That's the number 25 of Sean Williams. And driving the number 33 Home Run Cafe Chevy Camaro here tonight on the Woody Scoot Racing Channel Xfinity Series. That's Tony Cook. And driving the number 81 First Bank of Alabama Chevy Camaro for Rush Motorsports. That's the Troy, Alabama driver of Terry Hughes Jr. So we'll have Chase Johnson on the pole here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway, getting ready to go racing here any moment for the Sharpie 135. Ladies and gentlemen, we are glad you have tuned in here tonight for a action-packed night of racing. We'll bring up tonight's keys of the race here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum. Things are getting ready to get wild and crazy. Give it just a second here. It tends to freeze over here. You'll see where we were creating our track fact here tonight. It'll bring up the racetrack. There we go. We apologize there for that brief miscommunication on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We're going to have to keep it clean here tonight for 135 laps. Save those goddamn good years, boy. It's going to be a one hell of a race. And finally, playoff implications here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. We're slowly counting down the regular season here on the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 3. Looks like we're taking at least one more lap around the Booty Scoot Racing channel, around the Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum. That'll give us a chance to bring up the remaining schedule here, headed to the Pocono Raceway 2 weeks from now. And it is going to be one hell of a show there. Love the Pocono Raceway. Has been one hell of a NASCAR tradition to go there. It'll be the first time we're heading there in the Xfinity Series. I believe the first time ever here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. I do not recall ever having a Pocono race here on the YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, that'll get you a great look down on the main broadcast here as we get ready to take the green flag for the Sharpie 135. Peter the base car should hang that left down here on the pit road, and we should be able to get ready to knock things down here tonight in Bristol. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go racing at the last great Coliseum. Peter the base car will, oh fuck, he'll take one more lap around here. Just can't seem to get this guy off of the racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in here tonight. Here will be your starting 6 rows, 12 drivers, all the way from Chase Johnson, Jerry Power sharing it up front with Everett Larson and Corey Tesner getting ready to go racing here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're loving what you're seeing, make sure you head on over to the YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen and press that like button, press that follow button so we can get things down and dirty for you every single week. Go check out all the previous seasons. We got 2 whole seasons underneath our belt here, the Xfinity Series. Peter the base car will give us the middle finger, and he'll pull down on the pit lane because we're making a pull off of the racetrack. Getting ready to go racing here tonight for the Sharpie 135. It's going to be all in the hands of Chase Johnson whenever we can get this guy off of the racetrack. Peter the base car causing some trouble here tonight. He don't want to come off. Looks like he wants to take the green flag here. Looks like Freddie the flagman will go ahead and implicate it straight up this time to his partner, Peter the base car, that he needs to take that left on the pit road here. Looks like we might have to give the black flag to the base car driver. Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready to go racing here tonight for the Sharpie 135 with Chase Johnson on the pole here with Jerry Powers, his first one of the season. Chase Johnson, though, already got one of those wins in the bag here. Was sitting pretty decent inside of the point system here. The playoffs right around the corner. We'll have all that story to you momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you came for, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Green flag getting ready to fly here tonight for the Sharpie 135. The pace car hangs the left down on the pit road. Green flag is in the air here in Bristol, Tennessee. We're racing for the Sharpie 135. Whoa, Nicholas Maynard, big loose up the top side of the racetrack there. He's knocked out of the group quick and early. Chase Johnson's out front here, and he's rolling away with a race lead. Everybody side by side working the making here at the last great Coliseum of the Bristol Motor Speedway. Can everybody make it through turns 1 and 2? Looks like they will. Ladies and gentlemen, we're racing here the last great Coliseum in Bristol, Tennessee. Tons of guys out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel tonight. 15 cars. And it looks like Thomas McLaughlin will stick down on the pit road. He'll take the starting part here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We're watching the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tesmer rolling around in the 4th place spot right now with the green flag. It's just dropped here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Contact made back here with Holden Wheeler and Nick Crawford here. That'll check up this back half pack real good right there. Holden Wheeler's got some accident damage on that number 09 machine. We're 4 laps into tonight's event. Corey Tesmer stuck on the outside, safe for a barrier. He'll head backwards there to James Fountain, and Ty Robertson will plug the hole down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, laps are going to pick off quickly here tonight. I'm hearing anything from the admin, somewhere between 54 to 56 laps in Sunoco Racing Fuel inside of each and every single one of these race cars. Everybody's going to have to play the strategy their way and have to find a way around this beautiful racetrack. Concrete surface here tonight. As you look out for the battle for the race lead, the 0-1 of Everett Larson won the race 2 weeks ago at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, one of the crown jewel races for that number 0-1 machine. Everett Larson trying everything he's doing to work this back bumper of Chase Johnson as they complete another lap here by the Versatile Motor Speedway. Meanwhile, the number 16 of Blake Kloschchild and Nicholas Maynard in this number 02 battle it out here for the top 10 spot here. We're 7 laps into tonight's Sharpie 135. Nicholas Maynard looking to make a move around the number 16. Two Toyotas battle it out here for position on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We gladly appreciate everybody tuning in here. Seen a lot of you out there in the fan zone copying your brand new favorite driver jerseys, hat, t-shirts, whatever the case may be. Seen a lot of guys down there camping out on the right side, out the exit of turn 3 here, at the Bristol Motor Speedway. I've been here tons of times throughout my life, and I have seen some wild things here at the last great Coliseum. Nothing like what I was seeing last night out there in that garage area. Ladies and gentlemen, guys were having their shirts off. Don't even want to begin to explain some of the things that I've seen between people's legs. Ladies and gentlemen, we're working around the last great Coliseum, and everybody's already spread out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, working the bankings here through turns 1 and 2. Chase Johnson's got the lead through 3 and 4 right now. Everybody's going to have to go run down this front pack here. Corey Tessner a little slower here. He's got Ty Robertson all over that back bumper. Meanwhile, Nicholas Maynard, Blake Kloschchild still battle it out here for this 10th place spot. Looks like the caution flag is flowing here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the number 09, of Holden Wheeler. As he is slow here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll back that ass up here 11 laps into tonight's event, and Holden Wheeler goes around and he'll right his wrongs with this Sharpie 135. We got to find all the puns possible here tonight. Holden Wheeler spins out for the first time here, and we will back that ass up as we always do. Get a great replay here. Maybe it looks like he got a little bit of help from Terry Hughes Jr. If he didn't get any there, then we apologize to Terry. Looks like Holden Wheeler down into turns 3 and 4 here. Just gets a little bit loose here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and that's all she wrote. Terry Hughes Jr. tries to get on the brake for him, but just ships him right around. We'll back it up one more time here, right on board with the number 09 of Holden Wheeler. Holden Wheeler, championship contender in the Next Gen Cup Series here. Raced in the championship race. Didn't have the race that he was looking for. Watching out the front nose of Holden Wheeler. Just steps out on him here. Has to get down on the brake. Almost goes down into the pit lane entrance. He's able to lock it down here. Everybody's going to go around him, but the caution flag is out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the first time here tonight. And the Sharpie 135. Everybody will catch speed of the base car as Holden Wheeler turns himself around. We'll back that ass up here momentarily. Be back in just a moment after this commercial break. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Sharpie 135. Caution flag is in the air here tonight in Tennessee, and it's a beautiful day to go racing. Appreciate everybody tuning in here tonight. Holden Wheeler has refired that Ford Mustang and continued rolling around here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Had several guys come down on the pit road. Sean Williams will come down and top off on Sunoco Racing Fuel on this number 25 machine. Terry Hughes Jr. will do the absolute same, trying to come and fix up a little bit of damage there after tapping into the number 09 of Holden Wheeler, who's still trying to get a little bit of that stuff patched up here. Chase Johnson sitting on the pole here tonight for the first time in Season 3. He's currently the race leader out of the exit of Turn 4 behind the base car. 01 of Everett Larson won the race 2 weeks ago at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. He's looking to do the same here tonight, go back-to-back in the Madness Racing League. Right behind them will be Jerry Powers II. Jerry Powers really good at saving those Goodyear rubber. We'll see how things shake out for him tonight. 135 laps are scheduled here for the Sharpie 135. We'll see how these guys continue to play out tonight's event. James Fountain will round out this 4th place spot with Corey Tessner rounding out the top 5. So all 3 Chase Johnson Racing Chevy Camaros rounding out top 5 positions here. Looks like everybody will catch back behind the pace car here and will be ready to go racing this time around. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a big shout out to Clean With Care for doing everything here possible for the Woody Scoot Racing channel in the upstate of South Carolina. Go check them out at cleanwithcareservice.com, 864-767-6423 for all of your construction, house cleanup, and moving needs. You want to know what your favorite driver's saying down here beating and banging at the Bristol Motor Speedway? Go check out Racing Electronics RE Radios on Instagram. Track rentals must be rented before the event at each given racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go back racing here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum. Chase Johnson, Everett Larson on the front row. Peter the base car hangs the left down onto the pit lane. We're getting ready to fire back off here in the Sharpie 135. It's back green here in Bristol. Side by side, climbing the banking through turns 1 and 2. Neil Rutt the third will plug the hole below Ty Robertson. And here comes John Michael Bryan in this number 23 machine. Everybody trying to get oil back up to the temperature, rip through the gears here and find a place to go. You're going to have to fall in line, pick off the traffic. If we could ever catch lap traffic, I wonder how much of an implication that could really play here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Chase Johnson has the race lead through the exit of turn 4. He'll lead the lap back here, the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He's ready to turn the caution flag off and the green flag. We'll have it back green here. Ladies and gentlemen, Everett Larson sails back by about 6 car lengths to the number 5 of Chase Johnson. James Fountain trying to find a little rhythm here and run down the number 01 of Everett Larson right in front of him, riding on board. The number 24 of James Fountain. James Fountain, two-time championship contender, just has not been able to find victory lane in that championship race here in the Madness Racing League. Will get a great run to that back bumper of Everett Larson. Ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing what it's like to go about 120 miles an hour here at the world's fastest half mile, the last great Coliseum here in Bristol. Ladies and gentlemen, several guys come down on the pit road and service these race cars. Other guys stay out, try something different. Looks like the caution flag is flown. Caution flag is out here. Huge smoke pile up here. Looks like Holden Wheeler has been collected into the incident once more. We'll back that ass up here and take a look and see what happened here to the Castrol Oil 09. And he looks like he maybe have burned all the oil out of that race car. Maybe contact here with Nick Crawford. Both of these guys down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Nick Crawford big time loose, trying to hold on. And whoa, we got Terry Hughes Jr. backwards here, ass in first to the outside safer barrier. So it wasn't even Holden Wheeler's fault. It was Terry Hughes Jr., Nick Crawford battling door to door here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll take this battle out here and take a look and see what happened. Crawford goes upstairs through turns 3 and 4, and Hughes comes down. Crawford just gets the right rear quarter panel. Terry Hughes Jr. ships some ass fast backwards into turns 1 and 2. Nick Crawford gets involved as well as Holden Wheeler. So no wrongdoing of Holden Wheeler there. Terry Hughes Jr., though, definitely falling victim there. He'll get right rear hooked by Nick Crawford. It looks like the pace car is back out on the racetrack, but Chase Johnson's able to get down on the brake. Somebody must be rolling up a nice fat big old sirloin steak down there in the infield, or that must be some Goodyear rubber burning in the air. We'll be back in just a moment here at the commercial break, live at the last great Coliseum. Ladies and gentlemen, playoffs right around the corner, headed to the Pocono Raceway 2 weeks from now, and we'll have one more regular season race after that. You must be one of the top 10 drivers in points to be playoff bound when the regular season cuts it and the checker flag flies at the Kansas Motor Speedway. Right now, Neil Rutt III looking like he is going to be in very good shape here in the near future. 2 wins on the season. He is our only multiple-time winner this season. In Season 3, Everett Larson stealing one 2 weeks ago at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Had a couple guys down here on pit road as we throw it back down here On the main broadcast, Everett Larson will pull down into his pit box. Looks like it's going to be Sunoco Racing fuel only here for the Ford Mustang of 01 of Everett Larson, and he'll be up and off of pit road momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, working the caution flag here for the second time tonight. Nick Crawford involved inside of the accident. Nicholas Maynard comes back out on the racetrack, so Nick Crawford apologizes there over the radio to Terry Hughes Jr. I was listening into my REC scanner. Terry Hughes Jr. stuck down here on pit road. That might just do it tonight for Terry Hughes. You're watching the Sharpie 135 live here in Bristol, Tennessee. 72 degrees outside, so we've lost a couple of degrees. You better go ahead and grab that sweater that you bought out there in the fan zone earlier tonight. Jerry Powers throw in a buy one pack of Zins, you get a free sticker and a Stanley Cup out of that number 99 trailer hauler here tonight. So what a deal there for the Rush Motorsports closeout bet Zin number 99 team tonight for the fans. Ladies and gentlemen, Chase Johnson Racing has all three Chevy Camaros up here in the top four spots. This James Fallon and Chase Johnson will round out the front row. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go back racing here at the Last Great Coliseum. You better strap those seat belts tight. Green flag is getting ready to fly back in the air here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. We're back racing here in Tennessee. Chase Johnson sinks down on the bottom side of the bowl here in the Last Great Coliseum, and hopefully we can get together some things here and get some green flag laps peeled together. Sun out on one side of the racetrack, completely covered in the other one. So how is this really going to affect the handling on these racetracks? As turn 2 is absolutely covered up here by the construction part here, or the structure layout of the Bristol Motor Speedway, I shall say. We'll see how these things out here. Look at this four-way battle right here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. A couple of Supras battling it out with a couple of bow ties. Tony Cook, the Home Run Cafe owner in Greer, South Carolina, a MRL Xfinity Series heat race winner. He won one of the dual races back in season 1. That's the last time Tony Cook's been the victory lane here. We talked to Tony Cook, in the garage area and asked him what it was going to take to get to victory lane. If I could ever put together my questions that I also tend to desperately do. Tony Cook gets big loose off the exit of the corner there. Whoa, Nicholas Maynard will ship it through wide up the middle. But Sean Williams will put the gas down there. They'll sort that one out quick and early there. John Michael Bryant is going to have to look out and see what's in front of him out the front windshield of that number 23 Toyota Supra. Meanwhile, Tony Cook, Nicholas Maynard, door to door here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, battling it out. Maynard will clear himself around the number 33 of Tony Cook. John Michael Bryant, though, will close the gap up. Here comes Ty Robertson, Everett Larson, trying to make something shake up here through the field. But right now it's going to be Chase Johnson with a mirror full of James Fallon. His Chase Johnson Racing TJR teammate, James Fallon, was absent last night from the TNA the TNA Home Run Cafe Truck Series that we raced earlier this morning. It was a double header. James Fallon wasn't there, but it looks like he was able to catch a flight here to the Bristol Motor Speedway for tonight's race. Corey Tessler moves up quite well here through the field. Meanwhile, Blake Child, Sean Williams battle it out here for the 6th place spot. Nicholas Maynard looking to put that Toyota Supra nose right in the middle of something. And here comes these two Toyota Supra for FBM Racing. Nicholas Maynard up here in the 02 machine. John Michael Bryant in the number 23. These two guys, teammates racing all year long, side by side as each other underneath the same chartered entries. You kind of seen the similar paint scheme designs, colorway there for the number 02 and 23 of the Boogeyman and the Kid. They're working their way up quite well here through the field right now. 7th and 8th place spot registered for SBM Motorsports. But these guys are really going to have to put shit together and run down these Chase Johnson Racing Chevy Camaros. Chase Johnson, the team owner here, out front of the Bristol Motor Speedway. Chase Johnson said Bristol was one of his favorite racetracks. And if you were to give him an option each and every single time now for his best bet on what track to go to, he was picking Bristol every single time. He's showing you why here tonight by leading most majority up the laps tonight here from the pole. Right now, though, this number 99 Zen Chevy Camaro is not showing too bad of some speed here. They're running literally quite almost the same laps. We'll have to check them this time around. Jerry Powers coming into the Xfinity Series part-time midway through the season in Season 2, so he wasn't able to compete for a playoff spot and or a championship four contender spot. Meanwhile, Jerry Powers will run a 15.73 that last time around. To the Chase Johnson, the race leader, is 15.79, so Jerry Powers just a tad bit faster here. This Showtime Chase Johnson at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Corey Riptide Tessler having a good performance here tonight at Bristol. Corey Tester said when it comes to him out here in the Madness recently, he really strives on the mile-and-a-halfs. Corey Tester, that's not really something that you hear a lot from a race car driver when it comes to these mile-and-a-half racetracks. They're usually bitching and complaining about how the handling is on the racetrack, being wide open all the time, etc., etc., etc. If you're not a race car and complaining, if you're not a race car driver and not complaining, what exactly are you? Corey Riptide Tester has been putting together one hell of a season so far. He's above the cut line for the Xfinity series, just not having the race that he was looking for earlier today in the Texas Motor Speedway. Whoa, we got smoke out here at the bottom side of the racetrack. Looks like that was Tony Cook, but he's able to put it back together. Tony Cook battling some handling conditions here, and it looks like we will keep it green. Yes, we'll keep it green here tonight in Tennessee. Tony Cook says it stepped out on me there. I'm not sure exactly what happened. We were talking about the number 33 of Tony Cook earlier. We ride on board with him. He continues to work his way back up to the top side of the racetrack. Tony Cook in this Home Run Cafe number 33 Chevy Camaro. Talked about it earlier tonight. The mile-and-a-half is where he strives. He said when he gets out here on these short tracks, Tony Cook, folks, up in age, he's about 62 years old. Tony Cook, Bobby Kyle, some of the older ones here in the Madness recently. Tony Cook says whenever it doesn't really affect his knees that bad, Tony Cook's really able to strive, though. Meanwhile, we'll shake back here to this number 16 Toyota Supra of Blake Koschchild. He's the only Toyota Supra going backwards currently at the moment. He's got a mirror full of Sean Williams, and he's watching Everett Larson fade away out that front windshield. Meanwhile, Ty Robertson's up and out of the groove there. John Michael Bryan, whoa, Nicholas Maynard shots him. It's big loose out the exit of turn 4. He'll sail to the top side of the banking through 3 and 4. Maynard gets the run off of 2, though. And down the back straightaway, he'll pull right in front of Robertson. Robertson see what works for him right in front of him. He'll try the arc and diamond the angle off of turns 3 and 4. But it'll be Bryan, Maynard, Robertson, Larson, Hochschild. The 7th, 6th, and 8th place spot here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Meanwhile, whoa, what a save from Corey Riptide Tester, able to hold on to this race car. Holden Wheeler will sail to the top side of the racetrack. That'll be the lap traffic. Nicholas Maynard down the bottom side of Ty Robertson. These two guys going at it on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for position. This is the battle for the 7th place spot. Nicholas Maynard will give it up here into turns 1 and 2 and let the number 9 of Ty Robertson ride on by out the exit, of 3 and 4. 47 laps complete this next time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Chase Johnson out front here in Bristol. Everett Larson is pulled door to door here with the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Lap traffic right here. Nick Crawford's going to get tight. Crawford gets hit by Nicholas Maynard there. Whoa, big damage to that Chevy Camaro of Nick Crawford. He'll go back. There's contact with the 02 of Nicholas Maynard. Everett Larson still down on the bottom side of the racetrack here, battling door to door. This Maynard Motors Toyota Supra. These two guys going at it here, giving each other plenty of room. Everett Larson, the winner 2 weeks ago of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Nicholas Maynard won a race in Season 2 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway in overtime over Everett Larson. Everett Larson gave the shot to Nicholas Maynard to clear him into turns 3 at Atlanta. Nicholas Maynard went home with a trophy that night. But 2 weeks ago, it was the 14-year-old of Everett Larson winning it at the Crown Jewel race in Indy. He'll try it out on the bottom side of the racetrack here. Looks like Nicholas Maynard's just a tad bit better through turns 1 and 2. Then Everett Larson, contact's made off the exit of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Larson gets that little bit of a bit momentum through 3 and 4 that Maynard just can't seem to get back without hitting that outside safer barrier. Maynard will sail up to the top side of the racetrack, get that little bit run through 1 and 2 that he gets. And you see these two guys. This is how you race here in the Madness Racing League. Trying to find some battles here. Larson gets loose there. That'll open up the door. The Nicholas Maynard will slam the door shut through 3 and 4. He'll do exactly that. That'll stack up the 0-1 of Everett Larson, bring Blake Hochschild right into the picture here. And we'll see how Everett Larson fights back here to the number 02, who takes the top side through 3 and 4. He'll leave the door wide open for Everett Larson to make a move, but Larson just won't be able to get to that left rear quarter panel. Maynard goes even higher that time through turns 1 and 2. Whoa, contact's almost made there off the exit of the banking through turns 1 and 2. Here comes Tony Cook down on the pit road. We seen him get in trouble earlier, go backwards. Tony Cook coming down on the pit road says the oil temperature is running at 302 degrees. The driver temperature 700. Jerry Powers looking to bring it down from the second place spot here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This number 99 Chevy Camaro. What will Jerry Powers do here? He's talking to the crew chief over the box here. They're going to remove half a pound of air pressure out the back end of the number 99. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. We're approaching the halfway mark. They're telling Jerry Powers to take it easy here. We're going to try to save a set on the long run here. Not sure exactly how many laps you'll go down or how often or how quick you're going to be able to make him up there, so no mistakes on and off of pit road. Chase Johnson continues to clock him down lap after lap after lap. He'll pull away from his teammate of Corey Tessner and James Fallon. So Chase Johnson racing round out the top 3 spots here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. So the CJR Chevy Camaros have come to play tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Not sure what kind of package these guys are running out of the CJR shop, but here come the NR3 design Camaros of Neil Rutt III. He's moved up through the pit cycle 3 spots to the 4th place spot. Meanwhile, here comes right behind him Jerry Powers in that number 99 machine, currently registered 2 laps down. So it looks like you're going to lose at least 2 laps underneath the green flag. Condition 3 wide at Bristol. Jerry Powers will think better of it here on the better Goodyear rubber to Neil Rutt III. Here comes James Fountain down on the pit road. Can he get it down and lock down? Yes, James will get down to the pit road speed here. It won't be a black flag for the number 24 machine. He'll pull down into his box here. He's complaining of a little bit of a tight condition on the long run. They're telling James to try to free up the brake bias, change your lineup a little bit. They'll do 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for James Fountain as he continues to try to work his way up through the front half of the field. This should hopefully give James Fountain something better here with a 2 or 3 lap more different tires than Jerry Powers. But James Fountain better go, go, go. As here comes Chase Johnson, his teammate, coming down into turns 3 and 4. If he gets to that back bumper, that number 24 of James Fountain, he'll be 3 laps down. But it doesn't look like he'll have an opportunity to even get to the back bumper of the number 24. James Fountain is able to get off of pit road, back onto the racetrack cleanly, and up to speed. Jerry Powers in this number 99 machine working his way up through the field, almost at that back bumper of the race leader, Chase Johnson, who heads down here to turn 1 and 2. Nick Crawford brings it down on the pit road, slides into his box, and so does the race leader of Chase Johnson and his teammate Corey Tessner. CJR calling some kind of strategy call here. They'll both come down at the exact same time. It's going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for Corey Riptide Tessner in this number 8 machine. He's looking to score his first victory here on season 3. Chase Johnson says we'll run it about 2 more laps longer than everybody else decided to there. It'll be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel, and a half wedge adjustment out the back end of the number 5. He's up and off on the pit road. Blake Hochschild will slide into his box here in his number 16 Toyota Supra. His first stop of the night for the Santan Valley, Arizona driver. 4 tires in Sunoco Racing fuel. That'll leave 6 drivers on the lead lap here through the pit cycle out on the Bristol Motor Speedway. Neil Rutt III has cycled up to the race lead with Ty Robertson right behind him. Everett Larson will shake out the 3rd place spot, followed by the kid of Nicholas Maynard in the 4th place spot. John Michael Bryant, Nicholas Maynard, teammates of these Toyota Supras, maybe looking to do a little bit something different here. We have strategy all over the place. Bow ties, blue ovals, and Toyotas trying different things here tonight, but it looks like the CJR camp has the Camaros to beat so far at the 71 lap mark up to this point. Everett Larson battling door to door here with Blake Hochschild. Blake Hochschild snaps loose almost there, has to get back in the line here. Nicholas Maynard running it a little bit long here. Him and John Michael Bryant came down and topped on lap 14, that second caution. So Nicholas Maynard will shoot to the top side of the racetrack here. Let the lap traffic guide James Fallon by, but James Fallon gets big loose. But he's able to hold on to that race car. Nicholas Maynard slaps that outside safer barrier, trying to make something shake here as well. But here comes Neil Rutt down off of pit road. He'll come down to surface. His number 66 Allied Fire and Safety Chevy Camaro, Neil Rutt III, saying it's a little bit tight and free on entry. They'll tighten him up here. 4 fresh Goodyear tires and a can of Sunoco Racing fuel, trying to keep it light on the back half of the number 66. Holden Wheeler upstairs, Everett Larson downstairs, door to door here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. The 0-1 of Everett Larson sails through the middle side of turns 3 and 4. Everybody trying to make something shake here tonight. We still got guys cycling out through the pit cycle. Ty Robertson has cycled up here to the race lead, and Ty Robertson almost had him win a couple weeks ago, and he has since so close here in the Xfinity Series. It'll click one day for this Napa Auto Parts machine. They keep bringing the race engines that they've been having recently here out of this camp, and I would imagine we wouldn't be seeing them in victory lane within the next 4 to 5 races headed to the Pocono Raceway 2 weeks from now. And I'm hearing Ty Robertson may be the heavy favorite there with the way that he's able to manage and save those Goodyear rubber. Meanwhile, here comes Sean Williams down on the pit road. James Fountain will pass the race leader, Ty Robertson. He will get a lap back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. 4 fresh Goodyear. 2 tires and Sunoco Racing fuel for Sean Williams. He'll try a little bit something different here on pit road. Everett Larson trying to work his way up here through the pit cycle. Ty Robertson is in the lead, but Everett Larson probably just trying to play a little bit of monkey see, monkey do here. Whoever, and just do exactly opposite of the race leader or exactly what the race leader does. That'll be Ty Robertson, whatever he elects to pit. Meanwhile, Nicholas Maynard, John Michael Bryant is battling it out for the 3rd place spot. These are 2 teammates partying it out here at Bristol, and here comes Terry Hughes Jr. down on the bottom side of the racetrack. And this number 81 machine, he's scheduled 2 laps down through the pit cycle. He's just trying to get his way up and going here tonight. He's scheduled 30 laps down after contact incident earlier in tonight's event. He's just trying to make something shake here tonight. Ty Robertson will call it pits out from the race lead here. That'll give it to Everett Larson, who will bring it down as well. So it's exactly what we thought. A little bit of monkey see, monkey do. That'll give the kid of Nicholas Maynard the race lead here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And Ty Robertson will come down to his pit box, the 5th one on pit road. He'll get 4 fresh Goodyear tires and 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel. Everett Larson will pull into the 3rd pit box on pit road. He was asking for a little bit of adjustments. It's building tight through 3 and 4. Everett Larson, 4 fresh Goodyear tires and a can of Sunoco Racing fuel. Nicholas Maynard will cycle out to the race lead. John Michael Bryant will fill out the 2nd place spot. So if the number 25 of Sean Williams could get around the 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard, wouldn't imagine Nicholas Maynard going to play hard to get around here with on old tires here. Just trying to work out through the pit cycle. He'll do exactly that. Go to the top side of the racetrack, let the lap traffic by. And whoa, here comes Nicholas Maynard out on the pit road, and he'll bring his Toyota Supra FBM Motorsports teammate of John Michael Bryant with them. Here come the 2 Toyota Supras coming down on the pit lane now. Nicholas Maynard complaining of a little bit of a free condition, but it wasn't too bad. He'll throw on 4 fresh Goodyear tires and a can of Sunoco Racing fuel. John Michael Bryant said, you're going to have to adjust this race car if you want me to drive up through the field like I did last night at Texas. John Michael Bryant, 4 fresh tires and a can of Sunoco Racing fuel. Battle continues here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. The number 99 of Jerry Powers, Corey Tesner, Blake Koschel battle it out on the caution flag fly. Caution flag is out here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. I'm not sure who for or exactly what the hell just took place. Nick Crawford slow here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll back that ass up here and take a look and see exactly what just happened to the Kentucky hometown driver here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. The last great Coliseum strikes the number 48 Quesos Camaro. We'll back it up here as the large car becomes destroyed car. Nick Crawford had to lock it up here. It looks like he went for a crazy ride, maybe contact there, whatever, at Larson. As Everett Larson was just trying to avoid the wreck there. Looks like Nick Crawford just came off of pit road according to my ticker. He's on 4 fresh Goodyear rubber here. Maybe just stepped on it just a little bit too much and gets on his own you-know-what and goes around. So it looks like he heads down here into the banking, turns 1 and 2. Maybe carries a little bit too speed. Oh, there it is below the yellow line there. Gets it a little bit loose, and that's exactly what's going to happen every time. Bolts to the outside, safe for a barrier. And what a ride there for the number 48, and that's no Jimmy Johnson. That's Nick Crawford. Spun out there on the front straightaway right here in front of the fans. He's able to refire the race car, though. It looks like he'll be able to continue here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. We'll be back in just a moment as the caution flag is flown for the 4th time tonight. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Underneath the caution flag there for Nick Crawford, driver of the number 48 black and yellow machine that just went by on your screen. Looked like he suffered much damage, if any. They'll try to work on this machine as we get ready to go back racing here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. This will leave Jerry Powers in the race lead through the pit cycle, and we had several guys bring it down on the pit road and throw on another set of Goodyear rubber, if not top it off with Sunoco Racing Fuel. James Fountain was one of those people. Chase Johnson were one of those people. Corey Tessner as well. So with Jerry Powers and Neil Rutt staying out, that'll leave everybody from 7th place all the way down to 12th place, and Holden Wheeler trapped a lap down here tonight. So these guys are going to have to put in a little bit extra more work here to try to get themselves out front, maybe get themselves unlapped, and hope and pray for a caution flag here tonight at Bristol. If not, these guys are going to have to absolutely go elbows up out here and be in battle for each and every single position. Ladies and gentlemen, the lights are off on top of the base car. We're getting ready to go racing here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we will start with 16 cars. We currently have register 13 on the racetrack. We appreciate everybody making the Booty Scoot Racing channel what it has been up to this point, slowly approaching that year-and-a-half mark of doing this each and every single week. We've had late models, modified, Xfinity, Cup, Gen 6 Cup, Next Gen Cup, trucks, you name it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is all there. I've even had 2 full seasons of dirt super late models that you can go check out right here. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I never make it through the end of a video when I go to bed at night. Jerry Powers through the restart zone, back green here, and the Sharpie 135. We're racing in Bristol. Ty Robertson gets a little run right there. Chase Johnson gets a little bit loose. He gets bobbed on the racetrack. There goes Corey Tessner. He spins around on the outside of the caution flag fly. Caution's out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. What a save from Corey Riptide Tessner, but looks like maybe it was enough to trigger the caution flag here. We'll back it up here, take a look and see what happened. We've seen Chase Johnson, his racing teammate, loose in front of him, but he was able to hold on to it as he's got a little bit of damage behind him. But Corey Tessner all over the place here tonight at Bristol. Ty Robertson, Nicholas Maynard battling it out here. And this was the battle for the lucky dog between Nicholas Maynard and Ty Robertson, this Napo Auto Parts machine. Corey Tessner gets into the outside safer barrier or something. Maybe just gets a little bit loose here through 1 and 2. Oh, just get tied up the racetrack, slap the outside safer barrier. And in order to keep it off, he's got to keep his foot in the gas. But ladies and gentlemen, look down here on the bottom side. Nicholas Maynard able to make the move around Blake Hochschild and Ty Robertson for the lucky dog. And looks like Blake Hochschild was able to get through that one quite well. Way to be on the break right there for the Paint House boys, keeping them out of trouble. But Corey Riptide Tessner looks like he may have stepped on his you-know-what here tonight. We'll back that ass up. Take a look with Corey Riptide Tessner. We don't call him Riptide for nothing. He'll rip that top side every day, all day. Corey Tessner knows how to get it done. Just gets a little bit loose there. Goes around, and caution flag is immediately thrown here tonight for the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tessner. Jerry Powers, the race leader, over the line with 93 laps complete this time around. The New Jersey driver will hold on to the race lead here through the caution flag. Back in a moment. And Holden Wheeler, excuse me, I was sitting here talking to absolutely nobody. That is my bad. A couple guys down here on the pit road doing some green flag pit stops with James Fountain redeeming the race lead here. So James Fountain, Neil Rutt III will stay out underneath the caution flag here with Blake Hochschild, Nicholas Maynard, Jerry Powers, Chase Johnson will catch the back half of the pace car after going down there and serving that race car. So will Corey Riptide, Tesner, Ty Robertson, Sean Williams, Everett Larson, John Michael Bryant, Holden Wheeler, Nick Crawford, Terry Hughes Jr. The only guys still remaining here tonight in the Sharpie 135. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go back racing here momentarily. And a couple more laps at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Make sure you're grabbing your ticket for the next race next season as we await these guys to come back around the racetrack here. My apologies as they come across the front straightaway. Thank you for tuning in here tonight. You are watching the Sharpie 135, and a couple things loose over here in the booth. Had to hop on off the headset real quick and go grab that. Go grab a couple things here. Refresh my whistle. Ladies and gentlemen, the DJ's been one hell of a show here tonight. Make sure you go check him out at DJ Booty Scoop. And he's been putting on some tunes for you folks, ladies and gentlemen. A Moonshine City getting ready to go back racing here tonight. James Fountain fires back off through the Echo Park restart zone. We're back racing here in Bristol. Only going to be 7 guys registered on the lead lap here when the green flag drops back down here at the last great Coliseum. The concrete's starting to get a little bit colder. The sun's going down. Temperatures are starting to go up inside of the motors, inside of the helmets. How will these guys continue to race one another? It's been some clean racing already so far. Holden Wheeler, pow, onto the outside, safer barrier, caution flag. Caution flag is flowing here for Holden Wheeler from Mooresville, North Carolina. We'll back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the instant replay. Neil Rutt III trying to get around Chase Johnson there for position, but it looks like Holden Wheeler, unfortunate here, he was already backwards here, blowing smoke, Paul Walker style. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a look here and see exactly what happened to the number 09 of Holden Wheeler. We'll back it up one more time. I want to get a better angle of exactly what the hell just took place here to Holden Wheeler. Climbs the bank. It looks like maybe preloaded too much. Almost had it saved. Just gets clipped by Terry Hughes Jr. And he'll go hard to the outside. Safer barrier. We'll back it up one more time. See if we can't ride on board with Holden Wheeler. He had this thing absolutely yawed out. Almost had it saved here at Bristol. And next thing you know, he's hard on the outside. Safer barrier. So a hard shot there to the inside, safer barrier. Woo, he's almost barely able to skip over the cone right there. That would have been a violation for a unsafe entry to pit road. It looks like Holden Wheeler, though, still has a piece to shake with here tonight. James Fountain has the race lead here at the last great Coliseum in Tennessee. We'll be back in just a moment. Can he hold on here to win it? Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We're underneath a caution flag for the 5th time here tonight at the last great Coliseum. After a couple of accidents happened there, you're looking down at the pylon cam here, looking high at Colossus. This is the world's biggest jumbotron for a NASCAR sanctioned racetrack. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing was installed back in about 2016, 2017. So beforehand, just imagine trying to keep up with the racing here tonight at this crazy half mile that is so fast with the lap traffic and everything. Trying to just imagine that in your head and keep it all together. But meanwhile, now things have advanced in technology. We got about 30, 33, 34 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and it's anybody's ball game for sure. I can tell you this, got several guys up here in the front already used up their last set of Goodyear rubbers. Some of them come down there, played a little bit of a flank move, and took Sunoco Racing fuel only. Nicholas Maynard will move up to the 5th place spot here in his number 02 Toyota Supra machine, and right behind him will be Blake Koschchild, another Toyota Supra. These guys are the only ones separating Chevy from rounding out the top 7 positions here tonight. Again, folks, we didn't want to know exactly what happened out of that Chase Johnson Racing camp. Chase Johnson in this number 5 Chevy Camaro for Ocean Lakes on board. Ladies and gentlemen, Chase Johnson set on the pole tonight. He took off to about a 2-second lead, and every single one of those CJR cars that was built out of the same exact shop as that number 5 machine looked to have a little bit of speed in it, but it looks like everybody over at Rush Motorsports is absolutely putting things together, because this Zen number 99 machine has been able to go toe-to-toe, bound for bound here tonight with the CJR cars. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to go back racing here tonight in Bristol. If you're loving what you're seeing, make sure you head on over to that YouTube page, slap that like button, press that follow button. James Fallon fires back off. We're back racing here in Bristol. Down into turns 1 and 2 on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, working off the banking here. The world's fastest half mile is bringing some action-packed racing here tonight. Love having everybody join in here, camping out through the TikTok, sharing stories of their favorite race car drivers. John Michael Bryant, holy shit! Hard shot into the inside, safe for barrier. Caution flag is out here. We'll back that ass up here in the Sharpie. 135 for the instant replay. John Michael Bryant just hit a hellacious shot head on here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, watching the number 23. Your mom's favorite driver. She's going to be absolutely pissed here. He gets a little bit loose off the exit of turns 3 and 4, hard on the inside, safe for barrier for the boogeyman. He goes around hard here. We will back that ass up here, see if we can't ride out that front nose of that J Money since 23 Gorilla Mine Toyota Supra, just trying to get every bit possible here as the pay window slowly starting to open up here. We seen it out on the bottom side there. Nick Crawford's got some damage behind him. Wonder if that contributed to the factor here of John Michael Bryant. John Boogie Bryant takes it to the top side of the racetrack, gets a little bit loose, spins out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel hard into the inside, safe for barrier in front of the fans, and your mom's not going to like that one. And it looks like Nicholas Maynard was big loose here on the front stretch as well. It looks like he maybe got a little bit of help, but his spin was way better than the rest. We'll back that ass up here and look at Nicholas Maynard and see exactly what the hell just happened to him, as he was all over the place here through turns 3 and 4. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Maynard involved in his own kind of prior accident over here in the banking of 3 and 4. We'll check it out. He's on the top side of the racetrack here. Whoa! It's a big loop. Wow, barely able to get it there, so it don't look like it's going to be much damage, if any, to the number 02, but we can't say the same as John Michael Bryant. So both FBM Motorsports drivers spin out on that lap, so it looks like maybe those Toyotas were trying to push a little bit something air pressure-wise here as the laps continue to count down here, at the Bristol Motor Speedway. James Fallon has the race lead over his teammate Chase Johnson. Jerry Powers trying to save a little bit of Goodyear rubber here on the long run. Still got a lot more racing to go. You stick it right here. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Sharpie 135. The sun is slowly starting to set behind these beautiful Tennessee mountains, and Ladies and gentlemen, I was chilling with Morgan Wallen last night at his bar, and let me tell you something, he started throwing chairs off the roof and shit again, and I had to get the hell up out of there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're working the caution flag for the 6th time tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel after a big shot to the inside, safe for a barrier for the boogeyman of John Michael Bryant. He'll climb out of that number 23 Toyota Supra. And one of our pit reporters down there on pit lane asked for an interview from the boogeyman, and he not so nicely declined for an interview to comment on what just took place there. Nicholas Maynard was able to resurface and repair that race car, get back out there on the racetrack in his number 02 Toyota Supra. So he's still running here tonight at Bristol. No luck he had much damage on that race car. He'll round out the 7th place spot here when we return racing. James Fountain will be on the inside with Chase Johnson on the outside of him. His teammate Jerry Powers in the 3rd place spot, followed by Corey Tesner and Neil Rutt. That'll be the front 2 rows. Nicholas Maynard, Blake Koschchild will figure out that 3rd row with Ty Robertson. Going to look to make something shake here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Huge stack up right there for Neil Rutt there. And it looks like Jerry Powers. See how things shake out here. Maybe a little bit of boys games being played out here on the restart. See how things shake out here. It'll be all in the hands of James Fountain through that Echo Park restart zone. Ladies and gentlemen, green flag back in the air here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We're back racing here in Bristol. Black flag in the air here for one of these drivers. Somebody's going to have to serve their black flag penalty here. We'll have to take a look and see exactly what happened. Not sure or who or what or where or why somebody got black flag. We'll keep that all in the air for you. What a save there for Corey Riptide Tesner. He'll climb the bank. 3 and 4 and hit the outside wall. Holy shit. Hard shot for Corey Riptide Tesner. Can he hold on to it? Will we stay green here tonight? Caution flag is out. Caution flag is out here for Corey Riptide Tesner, the 2nd time tonight. He's been bailed out by a caution flag. They're hitting the outside, safe for a barrier. We'll back that ass up here on the instant replay. Take a look and see exactly what the hell just took place with Corey Tesner. Looks like he just got a little bit loose again. Got it there on that outside, safe for a barrier, and hard too when he hit it. The Valvoline number 8 machine's got some damage to it for sure. We'll back it up on the Booty Scoot Racing channel even more as Corey Tesner continue rolling here. We didn't get further back than we thought we did. Corey Tesner, that also shows we need to get a better angle, was working with Neil Rutt, just got around for that 4th place spot. Tesner got a little bit hard back into the gas off 4. And it looks like he carried a little bit too much more momentum and just snaps loose on him to that outside, safe for a barrier here. So the last Great Coliseum will straighten the number 8 machine of Corey Tesner. And he's lucky that the caution flag was blowing there. He should have been in the last place spot, probably almost a lap down. Don't look like much damage to the number 8 of Corey Tesner, if any. 111 laps are complete here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel with James Fountain in the race lead. Back in just a moment. Welcome back here to the Sharpie 135 live here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Things have been getting locked and loaded and diced and feisted here, and just started to talk out the side of my neck. At this point, we are losing daylight, folks, and let me tell you something. The lights here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, when they're on fully illuminated, is one show that you do not want to miss. Right now, currently, though, excuse me, because I got a little bit of something stuck in my throat eating a snack up here. I want to appreciate the Bristol Motor Speedway for the nice hospitality up here to the booth, being nice and kind to the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Chase Johnson will bring it down on the pit road this time here. Looks like they left a lug nut a little bit loose there on that left rear tire. He'll come down here and they'll have to redo it for the number 5. It's going to cost him some track position here. But it looks like we're going to have a less than 25 laps to go when we take that green flag here momentarily. Looks like we're getting ready to go back racing here. Looks like, no, we will delay it one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, the last great Coliseum located right here in Bristol, Tennessee. the home of tons of country music stars, the home of country music, really. Moonshining, they've done everything in this great, beautiful state. The old Smoky Mountains is what they call it here. And ladies and gentlemen, I've been to Tennessee several times in my life, and I've never really seen the hype about it here. I'm from the nasty state of South Carolina, where we have places like dirty Myrtle Beach. So every place I've seen, it's not gonna take much to impress me. But ladies and gentlemen, the Bristol Motor Speedway, one of the most fine class speedways in America, and I've had the privilege to see well over 5 to 7 races here, day race, night race. Ladies and gentlemen, you can call me privileged, I do not care. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Powers, Neil Rutt, Jerry Powers the second, Neil Rutt the third. Well, what are we doing here? We got a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, and the ninth, the 10th. Loving the way that these guys, though, continue to make a name for themselves. Jerry Powers slowly starting becoming a household name here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the Madness Racing League. Neil Rutt going double down here. He races inside of the I-85 Asphalt Series that you can catch here on Monday and Tuesday nights every other week. Opposite, we raced earlier this week, so not next week, but the week after. You'll be able to see that, ladies and gentlemen. Jerry Powers going to be the race leader here with Neil Rutt in the second place spot. The kid of Nicholas Maynard will round out right behind him in the third place spot. We're back green here at Bristol. Nicholas Maynard spun his tires right there. It looked like he'll get a little bit loose, and he'll lose touch to this Neil Rutt machine as the battle for the third place spot is on right here between these two Supras. Looks like Blake Hochschild, and it looks like Nicholas Maynard able to hold on to his race car. Neil Rutt got big loose down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. James Fallon hard into the outside wall. Is he able to hold on to it? No, snap back right. Hard on the outside wall, and the caution flag flies. Thomas McLaughlin able to get down on the brake there. Holy cow, 112 laps down for Thomas McLaughlin. Everybody else able to get around. James Fallon, though, not so fortunate here. And you can't run from us, buddy. We'll back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel for the instant replay. Take a look and see what happened to James Fallon. As the lights have been cut on here tonight at Bristol, things are getting ready to get wild here tonight. The pay window is getting ready to open here with less than 25 laps to go. We'll back that ass up. Take a look at what happened with James Fallon and what exactly took place here for him to even be loose to begin with. He was battling door to door there with the kid of Everett Larson. Everett Larson, a legit kid, 14 years old here. I know they shouldn't be letting guys drive race cars that young, but I don't make the rules. I just abide by them. The number 24, James, on the outside there, just gets loose, trying to keep it out of the wall and out of traffic. It goes around there, so a great heads-up driving, though, from James Fallon, able to keep it out of the outside, safer barrier and out of traffic, and maybe with less damage as possible. Jerry Powers trying to roll to a race win here on the long run underneath the caution flag here. We've had 3 consecutive. It'll be Powers, Rutt, Maynard, Hochschild, Larson, Johnson, Robertson, Tesner, Williams, and Fallon, your top 10 drivers when we return on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Don't touch that remote. Keep it right here. Ladies and gentlemen, trying a little bit something different here, letting you watch the colossal cam here as we pace underneath the pace car here with 18 laps to go, almost 17 this time around. It is anybody's ball game here, especially in the playoffs with the remaining schedule pulled up on your screen right now. We are headed to the Pocono Raceway here in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania 2 weeks from now. That is going to be one hell of a show. The first time we've ever been to Pocono live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Should be one hell of a show. We'll have to see what happens when we get out there. And let me tell you something. I heard they have some fine-ass bitches in Pennsylvania. I'll be packing my bags full of them. You know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the playoff And how it looks right now, currently the first 3 drivers out, John Michael Bryant, Trevor Wall, Everett Larson. Trevor Wall, John Michael Bryant not having the races that they were looking for here tonight, so we're going to have a little bit more work to do here tonight. Back on the main broadcast cam, we're underneath the caution flag here tonight for James Fallon. He'll get a little bit loose there, try to keep it on the outside, stay for barrier, and just get loose and go around. Got a little bit of nose damage there, as you see the Camaro has bit in there. Looks like it almost says Cameron, and I don't know who Cameron is, but I do know what a Camaro is. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Powers, the race leader here with less than 25 laps to go, looking for a chance to win a Madness Racing League Xfinity Series race here tonight on this beautiful Saturday night. Jerry Powers from New Jersey with Neil Rudd on the outside, so 2 New Jersey drivers will round out this front half. It's going to be a battle for who's the favorite driver coming out of New Jersey, and don't forget, folks, that Rumor in the Garage trying to work up a all-star race here on the Madness Racing League, so make sure that you guys are getting locked and loaded. Hopefully you can see if we can get some kind of fan vote going to see which one of these guys you really, which one of these drivers you fans really do like the most. Green flag back in the air here in the Sharpie 135. Jerry Powers rolls out to the race lead there. We're pulling down here into turns 3 and 4. Larson gets into the back of Nicholas Maynard. He gets tagged up the racetrack, and there goes Everett Larson. He'll spin around on the bottom side of the racetrack. Several guys involved, but they're able to get out of the way. Caution flag flies. Wow, not sure what happened there. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay. Take a look and see what happened. Everett Larson loose there through turns 3 and 4. Chase Johnson right below him. We'll back that ass up and take a look and see exactly what took place here. Maybe did he get some help from Chase Johnson off the exit of 3 and 4 down here in the turns 1 and 2. Nicholas Maynard trying to fill the hole there, but there's a gap on the bottom of Nicholas Maynard. Looks like Chase Johnson just got the left rear quarter panel. We'll back it up a little bit more here. Chase Johnson just not able to get down on the brake fast enough. He'll hit the 0-1 of Everett Larson, ship him around and slip him up the racetrack right there. And Everett Larson has to try to hold on to it. Chase Johnson, though, the victim of that one right there. That was clear as day. We'll back it up one more time. See if we can't look out the left rear or the ass end of Everett Larson. And he doesn't look like he has one of those good camera angles set up for his race car, but should give us the angle that we were looking for. At least see if there was actually contact made here between this number 5 machine. I'll shut my big fat mouth and we can take a listen. Definitely some contact made right there. You heard it and seen it. Ladies and gentlemen, nowhere for anybody behind him to go, but way to be on the brake there from most of these guys on the back half of the field. But Everett Larson's not going to be happy with the way that he was just raced right there. Everett Larson, the winner 2 weeks ago at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Less than 15 laps to go when we return. Back here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum. Got some green flag, well, some pit stops underneath the caution flag here. Coming down on the pit lane is going to be Ty Robertson in this number 9 Chevy Camaro. He'll take his final set of Goodyear rubbers here tonight on pit lane, and he'll take a can of Sunoco Racing fuel. No, they'll keep the Sunoco Racing fuel inside of the race car. No Goodyear tires. They'll try to patch up a little bit of damage that this number 9 has received. It'll be the final set of Goodyear rubbers here for Holden Wheeler, though, as he continues to battle damage here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. It's been a long night for Holden Wheeler. Corey Tesner, he's had a show here tonight. He's had something to talk about. See if we can't get a driver interview with Corey Tesner and this number 8 machine at the end of tonight's event. Really want to see how his race has played out here throughout the pit strategy. Meanwhile, guys like Blake Hochschild continuing to do Blake Hochschild things. Funny how it really works. Blake Hochschild, the Hard Charger Award in the TNA Truck Series race. And here he is tonight, currently up 8 spots from where he started. Blake Hochschild currently in charge of that hard charging award. He would leave Bristol tonight if the checker flag was to fly right now, with them 20 bonus points added to his total score here. So Definitely with the playoffs right around the corner, you're going to have to try to do everything possible to get yourself up and safe from that cut line. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Powers has got the race lead here, and we've officially reached the nightfall portion part of tonight's event. The lights are on here at the Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum, and Jerry Powers, Neil Rutt III, Nicholas Maynard, Blake Koschchild will be the front four drivers here when we return racing, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully we can knock out these final 10 laps underneath the green flag, and hopefully we'll have one hell of a show on the other end of it. Jerry Powers looking for his first win here in Season 3. Neil Rutt III looking for his third race win on Season 3. He won the Rockingham Speedway, and he's also doubled down at the Charlotte Roval. Ladies and gentlemen, Nicholas Maynard won a race in Season 2 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, locked himself into the championship race in Season 2. Blake Koschchild still looking for that Madness Racing League first ever victory. Can he get it here tonight? Green flag, get ready to fly back here at Bristol. We're back racing here in the Sharpie 135. Well, looks like we'll make it back underneath the green flag for the first time here around. Back racing with 8 laps to go at the Madness Racing League Sharpie 135. A couple guys here trying a couple different things here. Nicholas Maynard, Neil Rutt battling it out for position. Nicholas Maynard will take the top side of the racetrack there. Wow, big loose there for the kid of Nicholas Maynard. Chase Johnson on those 4 fresh Goodyear tires on the outside of him. Nicholas Maynard gets loose up the racetrack. He tries to keep it up there. Wow, Corey Tessner not able to get on the brake. He gets plugged in the back here. Tons of guys involved. Corey Tessner hard on the outside wall. Caution flag is out here. Nicholas Maynard's turned backwards here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. He's got damage on that ass end. The caution flag is out. We'll back that ass up here. Take a look and see exactly what just took place here. Looks like Nicholas Maynard was battling some type of loose condition in the corner, and he had to back that ass up here and take a look and see what just happened. Corey Tessner not able to get on the brake fast enough. With 0-2 of Nicholas Maynard coming back down in the traffic. Holden Wheeler lifting them up sky high into the air. We'll take a look here and see what happened to Nicholas Maynard. Chase Johnson comes right on the outside of him. Looks like Nicholas Maynard just got the air taken off that right side. He's big loose through turns 1 and 2. Bobbles up the racetrack here. That checks up Blake Koschchild. And Corey Tessner just squares him right up here, and that's when all the mayhem folds. Corey Tessner harder to the outside and safe for barrier. Nicholas Maynard tries to hold on to the race car up here, apparently here, but he goes backwards. We'll back it up one more time. We'll ride on board with Nicholas Maynard, see what happens. Then it finally just looks like it pops around on Nicholas Maynard, and he goes around the bottom side of the racetrack. The caution flag flies here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Corey Tessner involved in the accident. Thomas McLaughlin able to get down on the brake in this Gravedigger number 38. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like we possibly could be headed to the overtime here in the Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll be back in just a moment. Jerry Powers has the race lead over Neil Rutt III. Back here in just a moment. Please do not turn that TV around. Bang, bang! One of the coolest things ever in motorsports. Colossal TV here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. This thing is absolutely shining here underneath the lights. Ladies and gentlemen, tons of guys piled out here tonight, but we can only have one winner here. Who is going to take it at the last great Coliseum? Heading down the back straightaway here Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not on your feet, you should be standing right now, clapping those hands, stomping those feet, getting ready to go back racing here in overtime for the Madness Racing League Xfinity Series Season 3, excuse me. I want to make sure I get that one correct here. Kind of want to explain it to you and how it's going to work out here, green, white, checker style here tonight for the Sharpie 135. We will have 2 chances at it. So ladies and gentlemen, when the green flag flies here, if they can make one full complete lap, the white flag will fly. If they wreck after the white flag is flown, there will be no caution flags thrown, and the first person back to the checker flag will win it. Ladies and gentlemen, however, if they do manage to wreck the race car before taking the white flag, the checker flag will be held and the caution flag will come out, and we'll rack them one more time here at the Great Coliseum. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter the pace car will hang the left on the pit lane here. We are getting ready to go racing in overtime at Bristol. Green flag is in the air. Heading towards turn 1 and 2, off the exit of turn 2. Powers down low. Neil Roy looking for something on the outside, but Powers will turn him around here on the middle side. Powers trying to hold on to the race lead through 3 and 4. White flag is in the air this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, presented by AFLglobal.com. And around goes the kid of Nicholas Maynard here on the front stretch. But Powers trying to hold off Chase Johnson down the back straightaway. Neil right to third, looking to make a move around Chase Johnson. Johnson's going to give it everything he's got into 3 and 4. He'll get big loose off the exit of 4, and Neil Wright are coming around, and Neil Wright will get the second place spot, but Jerry Powers wins it here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. He will win the Sharpie 135. Jerry Powers able to hold him off here in overtime on older Goodyear rubber, and he is pumped up inside of that race car. The CloseoutBats.com Zen number 99 machine will bring it around on the front stretch and burn it down as he wins the Sharpie 135 in Bristol. Jerry Powers wins it here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, underneath the overtime conditions, but a win is a win. Make sure you go find your Zen.com, the number 99 of Jerry Powers. That's a celebratory lap here in Bristol as he heads his way over to victory lane. We'll be back in just a moment. The number 99 of Jerry Powers wins his first Xfinity Season 3 race on the year, and looks like they are directing that number 99 straight to victory lane. He'll climb up the elevator here. One of the cool traditions here at the Bristol Motor Speedway is Jerry Powers will pull on the victory lane and try to grab his first trophy that he has just got himself here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Jerry Powers wins it here tonight. Burning it down in victory lane. Jerry Powers wins it here. The fans are going crazy as his team begins to celebrate with him in the Bass Pro Shops victory lane. Back in just a moment here with a post-race show and driver interviews. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Getting ready to break you down here in the victory lane where Jerry Powers has just won tonight's, I lost my train of thought here. Jerry Powers has just won the Sharpie 135, and ladies and gentlemen, let's see what he had to say.
Here in victory lane at the Bristol Motor Speedway for the Madness Racing League Sharpie 135, and Jerry Powers has just went to victory lane here in the overtime. We are with the driver, the number 99 of Jerry. Jerry, kind of walk us through the kind of closing laps here tonight at Bristol. A little bit of chaos there. We ran about 53 laps underneath the green flag conditions consecutively. Seen some really great races. Just kind of explain what happened out the front rows of that 99.
Bristol's a tough track. Hold on, let me just put a fresh Wintergreen Zen 6 in. Pretty stoked. Guys at Zen Rush Motorsports, just got to thank them. crazy race. Good mixture of some green flag runs and good amount of cautions there, so restarts there at the end were critical. This was really Chase's race to win. Kind of feel like I robbed him from that. But again, Bristol was mayhem, and luckily we were able to come on top.
And that's the driver of the number 99 of Jerry Powers, will bring home the race win here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll scoot down here to the runner-up, the driver of the number 66 of Neil Rutt. Neil, kind of walk us through what happened here on the back half of your number 66 machine. You kind of run it long on the pit strategy call. It seemed to work out in your favor as you throw on a set of tires and able to hold that track position.
Yeah, big shout out to the crew chief Dakota up over the wall there, trying to keep us out for track position and get a couple laps led under our books coming to the end of the regular season. Pretty good night. No contact. Carved through the field a little bit there at the end. Pretty good night in our Allied Fire and Safety Chevy here. We'll go on to 2 weeks at Pocono.
And that's the driver of the number 66 of Neil Rutt. He will finish in the runner-up spot here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll scoot down here to the third-place finisher, Chase Johnson. Chase, kind of walk us through your race here tonight. You'll lead the most laps here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. You were the fastest in practice, and you stood on the pole here for the first time in Season 3. Just kind of walk us through what happened here in this number 5 machine, as it looked like you almost had a chance there at the end.
Just to keep it, short and sweet, very fast car. Thought we had the car to beat. On the first green flag pit stop, it was my mistake. I ran out of gas getting on the pit road, and that set us back a little bit. But that didn't take us out of it, On one of them cautions, teammate ran into the back of me and saved the car. Just a lot of damage. And just after that, it never felt right. So I don't even know. When your teammate's not even paying attention and runs to the back of you, who knows? So I'm going to go back to the shop, talk about it, and get it together, and see you again in a couple of weeks. Appreciate you putting it on. Can't wait to go back and watch it.
That's the driver of the number 5 of Chase Johnson, who will finish 2 spots short tonight, but a podium finish for the number 5 machine. We'll scoot down here to the 4th place finisher, driver of the number 16, Blake Koschchild. Blake, kind of walk us through your race here tonight. 4th place finish here for the Toyota Supra. Kind of coming back to life here on the back half of the season. We've seen this before out of this Paint House group. Just kind of walk us through what happened tonight in Bristol.
Yeah, definitely not a terrible night for us. Kind of the same story as it's been all season throughout all series for the Paint House boys here. Not the fastest car by any means, but definitely try to play some strategy and ended up working for us. Those cautions late definitely helped. It was some fun racing, though, definitely here, as always, on the Booty Speed Racing channel. Hopefully we can get it a little bit faster here for Pocono. Hopefully get that elusive first win that we're looking for. Of course, thanks to Paint House for certain setups, PayRVA, JZM, everybody else is on the car, and, of course, Booty Speed Racing for putting it on. Hopefully everybody has a great night and is safe.
That's the driver of the number 16, Blake Koschchild. Top 4 finish here tonight for the number 16 machine. We'll scoot down to the top 5 finisher, driver, the 01 of Everett Larson. Everett, kind of walk us through your race here late there at the back half of the run. You spin around and you're able to recover there for a top 5. Just kind of walk us through it.
Yeah, man, I've qualified pretty good. I'm pretty sure. I think qualifying third at Bristol is definitely out of norm for me, but I'm just really happy I was able to get back up here into the top 5. I'm hoping that got me into the playoffs, or if not closer. But I don't really know what happened back there towards the end, because I think I got in the back of the 02, or I don't know. It was just really colorful car. And then I think the 5 car got into the back of me, and then that, I thought, completely screwed my race, because I was quite literally turning right to go left the whole time there at the last couple of laps. I was able to barely beat out the 24 car at the line. Almost got by the 16, but it just wasn't meant to be for this race. And I also just want to thank Food City, Corey LaJoy, Quality Heat and Air, King Sport Fitness, Zamp Racing, Han Doctor, my grandma and grandpa, my Uncle Corey, and my Aunt Deanne, and Burn Setup, and also, of course, Booty Scoot Racing. And everyone, Merry Christmas.
Everett Larson, the winner 2 weeks ago at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, comes up a little bit short here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. He'll finish in the top 5 spot. We'll scoot down here to the 9th place finisher, driver, the number 02, Nicholas Maynard. Nick, what kind of went wrong there in the back half of the race? We'll spin out coming to the white flag. Just kind of walk us through it. Yeah, absolutely. Stepped on my own nuts there. Was battling door to door with Neil with about 8 laps to go, and did the same thing. Just kind of threw away a podium finish there, maybe possibly a chance at the win. But we'll move on to it. Pocono is one of my better tracks, I would have to say, with my driving style. We'll see how things go 2 weeks from now. But I thank everybody at the Manor Motors shop, Intensity Development, Body Armor, MR3 design, just getting this Toyota Super all ready to go here at Bristol. We'll take a top 10. That's the driver, the 02 of Nicholas Maynard, and looks like that'll do it here for the driver interviews. Jerry Powers goes to victory lane, back up to the booth.
Back up here to the booth, ladies and gentlemen. Here we're flying high above the Bristol Motor Speedway. We'll be back here in just a moment with the driver post-race show and all those great goodnesses. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Jerry Powers continues to celebrate down here at the Bristol Motor Speedway with his Zen group. His first win here in Season 3 is going to help him out tremendously in the point. Look at all those fine-ass bitches all over the Zen number 99 machine, but Jerry Powers, his wife, is out there making sure things are nice and cleaned up. He's got his kids in victory lane. The champagne is popping here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We're glad to appreciate to have every single one of you folks. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll pull up the final results here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Sharpie 135 and Jerry Powers on the bowl here tonight. On the victory lane here tonight. It's number 99 machine from Park Ridge, New Jersey. He'll finish out in the first place spot with Neil Rutt rounding out the second place spot. Chase Johnson will bring home the third place spot here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, trying to have it his way, and he gets the third place spot. Spinning out there, coming to the checker flag, Blake Gottschalk will snag home the fourth place spot from Santan Valley, Arizona. Everett Larson will be our final fifth top 5 spot contender here tonight, with James Fountain battling hard for that 6th place spot here tonight for Chase Johnson Racing. He'll bring home a solid point stay here, up 2 spots from where he started. Ty Robertson will finish in the 7th place spot here tonight. It's not having the race that he was looking for. Ty Robertson, the betting favorite 2 weeks from now at the Pocono Raceway. Sean Williams looking to get back in the victory lane 2 weeks from now in Pocono. Talked to him in the garage area. He says Pocono was one of his favorite and better racetracks. The kid of Nicholas Maynard didn't have the race that he was looking for here tonight from Wilford, South Carolina. All the way up there with a chance to win it under less than 10 to go. He'll spin out, cause a caution flag, contact with Everett Larson for the Penske development team. And he has some work to do. 9th place finish here tonight. Holden Wheeler will bring home the 10th place spot here tonight. That'll be the final top 10 spot here for the 09 Castrol Oil Ford Mustang. Corey Tessner involved in a couple accidents here tonight. Wasn't able to get on the brake there quick enough for one of those accidents, running to the back of the kid of Nicholas Maynard, which is one of the incidents that we had right there towards the end of the race. He'll grab the 11th place finish. Nick Crawford will schedule out the 12th place spot here tonight in the number 48 Queso Gaming Chevy Camaro, with John Michael Bryant shaking out the 13th place spot from J Money Motorsports Company. Terry Hughes Jr. comes out here again. The bad news continues to find the 81 week in and week out. Rush Motorsports brought Terry Hughes Jr. over to continue to develop this program inside of this Rush Motorsports team in 81. iRacing being co-signed over to Trent Hughes. Terry Hughes Jr. not having the race that he was looking for here today, though. 68 laps down in the 14th place spot. The 15th place spot will go to Tony Cook here, the owner of the Home Run Cafe in Greer, South Carolina. After going off the racetrack with contact to the outside, safe for a barrier, Tony Cook didn't have the race that he was looking for here tonight. Thomas McLaughlin, trouble down there in the garage area. They failed tech coming into tonight's race at Bristol. and the MRL Madness Racing League had these guys go back through tech again. They were able to pass on the second time around. They lost their qualifying position, but Thomas McLaughlin got out on the grid, and when they went to go start up the Ford Mustang here tonight, the U.S. Navy veteran did not have the engine that he needed. It sounds like it didn't even go out. I'm assuming maybe a rear main seal or something going out inside of that Ford Mustang. It is a Ford. Oh, so be it. Ladies and gentlemen, that will be the final results here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel from the last great Coliseum. Jerry Powers in victory lane. You see him smiling down there. Him and his wife taking pictures, exchanging out the hats here at the Bass Pro Shop. Victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, you've watched the last great Coliseum. Sharpie 135 live here tonight. What a beautiful Saturday night to go racing here in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. We'll bring up the remaining schedule here to show you guys how things get locked and loaded here at the Pocono Raceway 2 weeks from now for 60 laps, and then the regular season finale at the Kansas Motor Speedway, and then we're headed playoff racing at Wilkesboro. Ladies and gentlemen, you head on over to that YouTube page located in the top right portion of your screen, and ladies and gentlemen, you won't miss a thing. We're glad to have you. Glad you tuned in here tonight. Thank you, and God bless. We'll see you. Have a Merry Christmas.